webinar where you're doing some training on like, this is what I coach speakers to do, and essentially when you're recording your video, you're speaking to an audience.
You're on stage.
You're on stage.
This is like a permanent evergreen stage. It's a digital stage for you.
And you do it once, you nail it once, and then you can use that forever. Like or you can change it whenever.
But you have a framework, and so that's like part of my 11 steps to the speaker journey. The first one is nailing down your expertise, and that comes to this elevator pitch. I don't like that word because no one wakes up and like, I want an elevator pitch today. Like nobody wants that. People wake up and they're like, I hope I find the right person today.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what we train on. And I have this whole framework, and this Hope Zavara and I have been working on this. She worked with Pete Vargas on the 10X stages. She's his MC. And she gave me this framework, and I was like, this is bitchin'. So this sentence of, who am I? Who do I serve? How do I serve them?
Yeah.
And then that's it. So it's you have to identify your target audience. And I have it on a sticky note on my monitor. Like whenever I post, that's who I'm posting to.
Yeah.
Whenever I talk, that's who I'm talking to. And then I write down whatever problem it is that they complain about. It's not the problem I'm solving.
Yeah.
It's the problem that they complain to their friends about.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't matter what problem I solve if it's not the problem they have.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly 100%. Yeah.
So I help entrepreneurs who feel invisible. This is what they say when they're with their friends. Nobody's following me. I don't get any leads.
Yeah, part of our pitch creator, it actually, instead of just saying like what problems do you resolve, it says what problems are your customers facing.
Exactly.
Like what are they going through, and then we'll say how do you resolve those.
How do you resolve those issues?
Yes.
Yeah, don't tell me what you do.
Yeah.
Tell me what problems they're having and how you resolve their problems.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a what's in it for me thing.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is like every realtor out there, every insurance person they resolve a lot of the same issues, but they'll do it in their own way, and they'll say, these are the customers that I work with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like these are the people that are facing these issues, and this is how I've helped them specifically with these issues, because they recognize there's specific things that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We also tell people to focus on the shark bites, not the mosquito bites.
What does that mean?
So
are we rolling it? Because this is good.
So we actually are now. So you guys can just start. She does her intro later, so just keep talking. You're good.
I do it Joe Rogan style where the podcast starts in the hallway.
Oh, okay.
That's funny.
So the shark bites versus mosquito bites, what is that?
Yeah, so a lot of, okay, let's pretend that you're at a beach and you're out there swimming and a shark comes out and bites a big chunk out of your leg, right? You get rushed to the hospital, and then when you get to the hospital, the first thing the doctor says is, hey, while you're here, I just wanted to show you this new lotion that we have that makes your skin really smooth and creamy, and it'll make you look younger and everything. And so if you're interested in that, it's $10.99 a bottle or whatever. No, you're going to punch that doctor in the face, right?
Am I bleeding out from the stroke?
Yeah. So if I go to a doctor, or I go to the hospital, and the first thing the doctor says is something that's not really relevant to my current situation, the things that are concerning me the most, then I don't want to listen to him. But if I get there and the doctor says, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, I've seen this a lot. I've dealt with over 30 different shark bite victims. I know what to do. I'm going to clean out your wound first. I'm going to stitch it up so that you can't see the scarring in the future. And then this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a shot of morphine right off the bat to get rid of your pain. I know how to take care of this problem for you. So you're going to give that doctor a hug, right?
Yeah,
so
you'll be relieved.
Too many professionals, they focus on people's mosquito bites, like the little inconveniences or whatever, rather than what's really bothering them at the root of their lives. And so when we talk about shark bites, or in business, for example, and I like to use the realtor analogy, because when was the last time you asked a realtor what they do, and they said, I'm a realtor, I help people buy and sell their homes. Like, that's what I do.
And they just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, I get
it. And there's 1,000 of you.
Like,
there's 2 million of you in the United States.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that doesn't help me at all.
No.
But if I ask you what you do and you say, well, I am actually in the real estate field, but my specialty is I am super good at helping people find the right neighborhood where they feel really comfortable and their schools are awesome for their kids.
And now you're voicing things that I'm thinking of before I even say it.
Yeah. But you've got to get in, you've got to become not a jack of all trades, but a master of one, and you're talking about it right at the beginning. Like, what are you really good at? Don't try to attract everybody. Try to attract your audience and be really good at that, because you'll get way more volume in business, or a bigger volume of business, if you get really good at solving those particular problems with those customers.
Can we hone in on this? Because when I work with people, it is one of the biggest fears. It's weird. They're like, I don't want to niche down. I'm afraid I'm going to lose people. What if someone can so my client could miss out on me because I'm not like niching to them or whatever it is. It's so scary.
Like I'm not casting a wide enough net.
Yeah.
And
they're like, oh, nobody can hear me because they're right. They cast this huge net, and I see it constantly. Yeah. I just spoke with probably 120 people over the weekend. I'm DMing them and responding. Had a post go viral, so I'm responding to everybody. And I'm asking them, what do you do? And within the first sentence, I still don't get it. So I don't know if I want to have a second sentence
100%.
with them. Like, tell me your perspective on that.
Yeah. So a couple of things. One is that as we've helped companies get on to Pitch 59, it is astounding to me how many of them don't know how to introduce their product in a quick and efficient way so that I can understand what they do or really understand why I need them.
Yeah.
If I know what they do, I need to understand why I need them. Mm-hmm. But there is a company, a software company that I was talking to, and after talking to them for about 3 or 4 minutes, I still had no idea what their software did.
Oh.
And I'm like, you guys got to fix that. Like, if I can't understand it, and I'm just an average Joe Blow. I'm not your most intelligent. I'm not your dumbest. I'm going to be your average person. So, like, if I can't understand it, most people aren't going to be able to understand it. So I offered to meet with them and help them figure out their elevator pitch. And even just their one-liner, like, so that I can quickly and succinctly understand what problem they're solving for. So I met with them, and they started going through everything. And I'm like, okay, so why do customers need that, though? Like, why do your customers need that? And they're like, well, because of this. And I'm like, oh, why didn't you tell me that?
Why did you lead with that?
I'm like, lead with that. Like, I had no idea why you even need your product or what problem you're solving. So anyway, the first thing that I helped them do is figure out what problem identify the problem that they're trying to solve. And once they identify the problem, I'm like, okay, so why is this product, how does this product solve that problem? And then they said, well, it does this and this and this. And I'm like, that's genius. I love that.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. So, and I said, so essentially what you're doing is doing this for this. And the guy that I was talking to, he's like, oh my heck. He's like, why is it taking us so long to figure that out? And I'm like, because you didn't have people, you've never asked for feedback on how to clarify your messaging. Yeah. And most people don't know how to deliver their elevator pitch. So when you were talking, we actually like the word elevator pitch because it lets you know it's not a sales pitch. Uh-huh. It's a quick, succinct message about who you are, what your value proposition is, and why you need you. Mm-hmm. But we always talk about the 4 keys to a successful elevator pitch. The first one is you got to humanize yourself and break down those emotional barriers, because our platform is an emotional connection platform. It's not a tool.
Oh, I just got inspired just by you saying that. That's cool. It's an emotional connection platform. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Well, the reason that we created Pitch 59 in the first place is because there's no other marketing platform out there that gives you an emotional connection to the company that you're looking at. If you go onto Google and do a Google search for a realtor, then you're going to see all these different website links and star ratings and logos and sometimes commission discounts or whatever right there. And there is absolutely no emotional connection. You're going to look at their websites. They're all going to have models and actors and skyscrapers and everything on their websites, right?
All that, the B-roll and all the stock photos.
It's just, and there's nothing that emotionally connects you to that company.
Which is why people buy. Yeah. People don't buy based on facts alone. They buy from the person that they like.
90% of our decisions are emotional.
Well, people want to work with people that they know, like, and trust.
Exactly.
You can build trust through educating people and saying, like, I have expertise in this field. You can build, knowledge by being able to say, like, this is what the industry is required. But to build that likability, like, it has to go beyond just reviews or a name or a brand. It has to go into that emotional connection of actually building a relationship with your target customer and audience. And so it's just it's so much more than people like we talk about it, and it's kind of this interior thing that we don't really recognize until you actually get into the weeds of saying, yes, it is based off of emotional connection, of actually seeing what that that product or service pulls from you, of being able to, I actually recognize this as something that I want to do, instead of just something like, oh, I need to do this. Mm-hmm. Like, I actually want to be recognized as working with this brand or working with this company because of what they stand for, what their values are, and exactly who the people are that are involved in that company. And so actually being able to go in and saying, like, these are the personalities of the people that you're working with. It's not working with a brand or a company at large scale. It's working with people. It's working with individuals.
Yeah, we don't do business with businesses. We do business with people.
Exactly.
Have you heard the reason that Pitch Banana was created?
No, I want a good backstory.
Okay, so I'll give you the shortened version of this. I did door-to-door sales for 5 years, 4 years of that doing pest control in California, and then 1 year when I started my little carpet cleaning company in Idaho, I went and sold carpet cleaning services door-to-door. And I worked for a kind of a no-name pest control company in Southern California. Nobody had heard of us because we were a small company. And I would go knock on their doors, and oftentimes, if they had any issues with bugs, I would generally walk away with a credit card or a check in 5 or 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yet, and then when I started my carpet cleaning company, I started off doing that, and then I built my clientele, and then got busier, and so we just started doing the marketing on Google and Yelp and Angie's List and Home Advisor and Thumbtack and those platforms. And we were spending a lot of money on those platforms, and we were getting a lot of tire kickers where they would like go onto our website, see the information, go onto the next website, and we have to pay every time somebody clicks on our link.
Right.
And anyway, we had an experience. We ended up buying out 2 other cleaning and restoration companies. One of them was in Houston. We had a terrible experience with that company where it was outside of our control what we could do with the restoration site after Hurricane Harvey. Oh. And we ended up losing a lot of money, and it was December of 2018. I was driving between Orem and St. George visiting family with my family for the holidays, and on the stretch between like Santa Quin and Cedar City, that stretch.
No man's land.
Yeah, I call it Inspiration Highway because
okay, that's better than mine.
Good ideas there. But if you're not listening to music or you're not distracted by anything, like it's just a time to think. And so I was just thinking, okay, right now we're losing a ton of money and it's killing us, and I was super frustrated. I mean, way more than I'm actually emphasizing right now. Like I was at the edge of despair. And I'm like, what do we need to do to grow the cleaning side of our companies so that it'll make up for the restoration losses that we're taking right now? And I was thinking, well, maybe I need to spend more money on Yelp or more money on Home Advisor. And the more I thought about doing that, the more sick I became. Because if you ask most small business owners, it's like 80% hate those platforms. We all have to do it because that's how we get our name out there. But none of us like advertising on those platforms.
No ROI.
We feel like they're all rigged. They're super expensive. Some of the platforms have very deceptive lead practices too that we absolutely hate. So I was just thinking, like, what's the most effective marketing and advertising I've ever done? And I'm like, it has to be when I used to do door-to-door sales.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the difference between doing door-to-door though and being top 3 ranked on Google or Yelp? And I'm like, when I was on their doors, or online, I have like 255 star reviews. I've got a great reputation on there, great pictures, great discounts, great sales, everything that I thought customers would want. When I was on their doorstep, I didn't have any of that. All I had was a clipboard and a t-shirt that had a little logo right here. Yet those people hired me way more often as a percentage versus the other people online, even though they'd never even heard of my company.
It's because you were on stage. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you were connecting with them.
Yeah. And that's when I realized that they weren't hiring my company. They were hiring me.
Yeah.
And I was a representative of that company, and they trusted me, and so they're going to trust the company. And so I thought, online, I am handicapped. I can't be human to people. All I can be is a website link to them, or a star rating to them, or a phone number, or discount, or whatever. I cannot be human to them. And I'm like, but my humanness is the reason that they hired me in the first place. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, I wish there was a product that would allow me to come to life and introduce myself and be human to those people. And then be a search platform like a Google or a Yelp, but also on a shareable, networkable, I called them listings back then, but card that I could just give to my customers and ask them to introduce me to their neighbors. Mm-hmm. Really quickly and easily, take out all the work for them. But wherever they send me, I get to be human to those people rather than just a website link. And anyway, so when I got down to St. George, to my brother's house that night, I'd asked my wife for a piece of paper and a pencil. And as all my kids were watching movies or reading in the back, I'm just sitting there on my armrest as I'm driving, just drawing out what we call pitch cards. And envisioning, like, oh, it'd be awesome if we could all just have, like, I didn't know the amount of time, but about a minute. I just need about a minute to be able to present. And then I was thinking, how cool would that be if I went onto that search platform and searched for a plumber, and each of those plumbers came to life and said, hey, my name is Joe, this is what I do, this is why I do what I do, versus a Google where they're not human to me. And I'm like, that would be amazing. And then also if I could take his card and just share it with my neighbors and friends. And anyway, so I showed my brother the drawings that night, and he goes, Jeff, I actually really like that. And he's been critical of other ideas that I've had in the past, and so I value his opinion.
Yeah.
He said, if you built that, I would totally use that as a company, but also he owns a property management company and an investment company. And he said, but I would be interested in investing a little bit of money into that if you want to build it.
Oh my gosh.
Investors.
I'm writing a book one day called The $1 Million Napkin. We need to use this interview in that book. Because seriously, you've got this idea, you poured it out on paper, and immediately someone sees the value and said, I'd throw money at that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So I went back home to Houston. I was living in Houston at the time, and started doing a whole bunch of research on software, like how to start a software company. I have a brother that had gotten into software a couple of years before me, which was really nice because I could call him and say, hey, how do you set up a C Corp, or how do you set up the organization? Like, okay, how did you find developers? Like, how did you do? And so I pegged him, or kind of pegged him on a bunch of those questions. But then I just did a ton of research on how to start up a software company. One of the most helpful things that I found was some guy had written a blog or something. If I were to start up another software company, these are the 10 things that I would do. I'm like, oh, you were brilliant. Thank you so much. So I set up a Delaware C Corporation right off the bat, even though I didn't know why it was Delaware. Like, they chose Delaware. Now I know, but anyway.
I'm like, Wyoming? Delaware?
Yeah. But then anyway, I finished out, I started doing more complete drawings of the pitch cards and did a lot of research, found a development company, and went with several of their software developers. And I said, is this even possible? Can this be done? And we had an hour-long conversation just going over my hand-drawn pictures on these pieces of paper. And they're like, actually, if you would have come to us about 3 or 4 years ago, I don't think we would have been able to do a lot of this stuff. But now technology has advanced so much in the last few years, we can probably do this. So I said, all right, how much is it going to cost? And me thinking like we're creating a website, I hadn't even thought of an app at that point. I'm like, well, I've spent a few $1,000s on one website before. This might be 10 or 15,000 or something because it's an elaborate website.
Yeah.
And they looked at me and they said, we'll get started for 30. I'm like, 30? Like, what do you mean started? And they're like, well, you have no idea where this is going to go. Like, how long this is going to take, what direction, and all the other stuff that you're going to need. And I'm like, well, I have a $15,000 on a credit card. Can you take that as a down payment? They said, sure. And so I said, okay, let's go ahead and do it. And then on the way home, I called my brother down in St. George and I said, hey, you remember how you promised you'd give me a little bit of money? Can you chip in on this? And he said, yeah, I'll give you your first $10,000. And I'm like, thank you. And so he did that, and we started to get some wireframes built out, and I started to talk to a few more friends, family members mostly, and then some people that I was working with. Our current Miles, he was one of the first guys that I talked to. And I said, what do you think of this? And I had some friends and family that are like, I love it, and because they're business-minded too, they're entrepreneurs, and they're like, I would be willing to put in a little bit of money on that, 5 or 10,000. And so little by little, I started getting people committing to giving us money, and now here we are 5 years later, and we've raised over $3 million from friends and family, and we have like 110 investors, which no VC wants to hear, but I don't care.
That's great. That's 110 people that believe in you. That's $3 million worth of, yes, I support this.
Yeah.
Like, here's what I love about your product. And when you demoed this for me, I was like, holy crap, this is revolutionary. Because when I was running a sales floor, we ran a multi-million-dollar sales floor, we used something called video-assisted selling.
Yeah.
And what we would do is have the owner of the company, the face of the brand, record a sub 60-second video introducing, say, hey, I looked over your stuff, here's why I think it would be a good fit, and those videos increased the closing rate from, average 20 to 80%.
Oh, wow.
People that got those videos were like, okay, now I know you.
Yep.
Let's do business.
Yep.
And so you've built in this system where you have this video-assisted selling, even though they're not necessarily buying anything, they're just more enrolling in an idea or an introduction.
Yeah.
And they're saying, I know you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your video.
Yeah.
And even like going so far as to put us in a 3-way group text, which is what I do organically. Like that's how I introduce people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for this to go out, for the video to go out, for the text to go out, to set that up, like, so yesterday, it was 2 days ago, I posted a post on Facebook. Now I didn't know that Facebook connected back end with Threads because every other Facebook post I made had never automatically posted to Threads. But 2 days ago it did,
Yeah.
and I had a whoopsie. And my whoopsie netted in, I think, 16,000 impressions and over 500 comments on a thread post. And guys, my thread count was like 2 before, and one of the likes was mine. Like, it was embarrassingly low. But I was like, okay,
You gotta
sure,
do what you gotta do.
I'll be on it, right? So my thread exploded, And my post was, I've got a list of 400 podcasts and also a list of 400 guests. And anyone that's doing podcasting, if you need a guest, you need a podcast to appear on, I'm going to give you the database. I just want you to have it. You can go keyword search your topics and find a podcast to get on, because I want you to get on stage and talk about your business and talk about what's cool and all this stuff. And that just precipitated all of these things. And someone asked me yesterday, they said, have you ever considered doing an app for this? And of course, I've considered it, but I don't have the tech background. I don't have the knowledge. I'm not a SaaS person. I'm not a...
I didn't either, though. So.
That's what I'm saying. Well, here's the thing. Like, this is just coming to me right now. If this was somehow... And you've already built it.
Yeah.
So what if we created, like, some kind of we integrate the database into the app, and now it becomes a podcast. At least there's an area of it that becomes a podcast introduction. Hey, I just had this person on my podcast. You might want to check them out. And it precipitates a network. Someone asked me yesterday as well, have you thought of doing that with sponsorships? People who need podcast to sponsor and podcasts who need sponsors and all this. And I was like, Pitch 59. Why not? Like, why wouldn't
it? It could easily integrate with that type of because essentially you're combining the introduction with the tool to deliver their message somewhere.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And like, if any guest could get on, like, this is who I am, this is what I'm passionate about, this is what I talk about, I'd love to be on your podcast.
Yeah. Share my pitch card with them and get them
set up. Okay. We gotta find a way to put that in the thing. Okay, so you're doing this. Who uses this most? Is it realtors that use this most for you, or who are your people?
We have a lot of people that will use it in like lots of different industries. But the ones that we've seen the most common are obviously those that are trying to build their business by word of mouth, and the people that are looking to stand out the most, trying to build their companies by referrals, tend to be a lot of realtors, a lot of people in insurance. We've seen a lot recently of people that are in fractional services. So they're coming in as like a consultant or somebody for a company, but not necessarily being like an employee to a company, and they work with a lot of different companies to help with like marketing or sales or, and then we see a lot of people in sales and marketing, a lot of coaches, consultants, and then a lot of trades and services as well. Like a lot of people that are just looking to try and help themselves stand out more among the crowd, right? And trying to say like, this is why I'm different than A, B, and C options.
We tell people all the time that we look for a specific type of person more than an industry. Yeah. So the people that gravitate towards Pitch 59 the most are networkers. And I'm not even just saying people that are like in a networking organization. I'm just saying people that network a lot. So that could be a CEO of a large company. It could be a sales rep, a BDR from a small software company. Anybody that's looking to network and network with their current community or with a potential community in a different place or something like that. The beautiful thing about pitch cards is that it just makes them so that they can, I shouldn't use the word viral, but they can kind of be viral. So if I have a great pitch on a pitch card, I can give it out to my customers and they can share the heck out of that thing and introduce me to everybody that they know without having to do any of the work. And so the people that have gravitated towards it the most are people in the real estate space, insurance, the fractional services. Like we've got some awesome partnerships with Sales Acceleration and Fractional. And they're full of like CROs or CFOs or CTOs or just C-level executives that work with a lot of different companies. But then anybody that's in any role in sales, like my background is door-to-door sales. I wish I would have had this when I did door-to-door sales because I could have doubled my sales. Yeah. Like every single customer that I sold that I walked away with a credit card or a check would have said, I'll give you another $20 off your service today if you'll just introduce me to both of your neighbors. Yeah. And here's my pitch card. You can do it in 10 seconds. And that would have been brilliant. And then I get to pitch them still. But I get the credibility and validation of my customer who they know.
Yeah, the endorsement above all else.
Yeah, that's way better than cold knocking doors. Because then I don't have any validation from anybody, which is why sales reps always name drop. Like, yeah, the Thompsons down the street, they just signed up. Like, they always try to do that but then they're trying to get the validation through themselves.
Your entire neighborhood is signing up.
Versus the Thompsons introducing me to them and saying, hey, I just signed up with these guys. They're really cool.
Creates instant credibility.
Instantly credible. And I still get to deliver my message without relying on them to try and sell my carpet cleaning or my pest control services for me.
It's the endorsement without the sales conversation.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Well, and then, like, I mean, you even bring up a good point of like people that network. Like, not only can you make it easier for all of your contacts in your network to be able to introduce you, but a lot of people that we have signing up are bringing on their networks and saying, hey, you guys, if you're my referral partners, like, you guys need to get this as well, so I can refer you easier. I can refer you more effectively. And so they're all getting their networks on it. So, like, when we talk about people that network a lot, like, these are people that have referral partners in their own spaces that are saying, we need to be able to make it easier for each other, not just for me to make it easier for you, but for you to make it easier for me as well. And so it's really neat to be able to see people bringing on their contacts, their connections, their networks on the platform as well to say, hey, we need to help each other out, you know?
And once you refer or make a three-way introduction for somebody that has a pitch card, you'll never want to do it for anybody that doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
like, it's frustrating when I have to do all the work.
You don't have an iPhone? I'm sorry, I don't want to talk to you.
We're kind of cultish that way, though.
Are we building one? Maybe we'll build one.
Hayden, if you're watching, did you hear that? Like, we've got a couple team members that have Androids, and we're like,
you ruined the text thread. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We can't share stuff, you know.
Yeah. No, but it's true. Like, you really like see the benefit of like how easy it is, and then in that moment for people that may not do it, they're like, man, I really wish this person had this, or like I really wish I would have just gotten this already. Like, I wish I had this before. And it makes you think about like how easy it is, and it creates that bigger need of just like, yeah, this makes so much more sense to be able to just make it simpler for my customers and my clients to be able to refer me quicker and faster.
Well, and we built out so when you download the Page 59 app, you have a menu option down at the bottom called My Network. Mm-hmm. And in your network, you create pockets and put people in pockets. And so you put their pitch cards in different pockets. And so the idea of that is like, for example, if I have a painter come to my house and do a job for me, in a couple of years when I need another painting job done, or when my neighbor asks me about a painter, there's a good chance that I'm not going to remember your name or who you are. But if you had a pitch card, I can just put you in my painter's pocket or my construction pocket or something like that. And then whenever somebody asks, I'm like, oh yeah, who was my painter? Oh yeah, it was Joe. And here's his elevator pitch, and he has all of his information right here. So here's his pitch card, or I can just contact him again. So it's like your future Rolodex too.
Yeah.
So
for those of you who don't know what a Rolodex is, this is from people who
constantly
won the
do we have to
1900s.
explain?
It was an actual
Rolodex.
Rolodex.
It was the actual thing. I need to get one just for like what is it? The word vintage's sake.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
At this point.
This is really cool. So when I first saw this app, I was intrigued by it, and you were so kind of like, when we interfaced with it, I was like, well, what if we could do this, and what if we could do this? And you're taking customer feedback. This is what I love about your company and where you're at, is that you're listening to user feedback and enhancing the experience. Yeah. So one of the, and maybe this is unfair to just hit you with this, but one of the things that I have been using recently is Apple's new, like, I'm just going to put my phone next to yours, and it goes,
the NFC.
Yeah. Do you have something like that in the works?
So you can actually already do that with the AirDrop feature. I can transfer my pitch card to you that way. In fact, well, I don't know if you want to do it right here.
Why not?
Let's go ahead.
Why not?
So
I don't have the app downloaded yet.
That's right.
No, that actually makes it.
Even though I love it so much, I'm gonna do it. This is the sales pitch, you guys. It's happening today. Okay, so I have my phone open.
Yep. Give me just a second. I gotta get this.
NFC. What does that stand for?
So, near field communications.
Oh, okay.
You know.
There it is.
And watch this.
Shut up.
And you've got my pitch card now.
You have to teach me how to do that, because then that doesn't require a new user to have the app yet.
Yeah.
Nobody has to have the app.
I mean, it's iPhone to iPhone still.
Yeah,
But even if it's not iPhone to iPhone.
Even if people don't have iPhones, you can still send it across.
You can save my contact information. You can share my pitch card to somebody else right there too, and make three-way introductions.
So you don't need to download.
You don't have to have the app.
You don't have to log in or sign up for anything in order to be able to start like using it and like sharing it out.
But I'm going to want to if I want my digital Rolodex.
Correct.
And
of course.
Want to categorize
yeah. But like, I mean, in order, like, if I was to say, if Jeff was at the door and he knocked on somebody, like potential client, and said, hey, if you wouldn't mind sharing this out to your two neighbors, they don't have to do anything. All he does is just share it out to them. They can scan the QR code. He can text it to them if that doesn't work. Like, I mean, there's endless options in order to be able to share it to somebody. They instantly have it, and in a matter of like 10 seconds or less, they can make two introductions right there on the spot. Because it comes with his default message of how he likes to be introduced, already written out for them.
Yeah.
So they don't even have to think about what to say or what information you want them to include. It's already done for them, and it comes with a card. They just have somebody else's contact, taps in, and that's it.
But you've got your video here. I didn't have the sound on, but it's a sizzle reel. It's.
We have it. Yeah, that's a great video. I mean, you can either upload a video, or you can just record your video right there on the app.
And we have iPhone to selfie style.
And we have a built-in 59-second countdown timer. We have a built-in teleprompter on your recorder, so when you turn it sideways and you start recording, you can just read it.
Yeah.
So we've made it easy to record your video, but if you want to do a professional video or if you want to edit your video and add in make it a great one, you just upload it. It just has to be less than 59.4 seconds.
Good.
We chop everybody off if they try to go.
59.5.
You're not possible.
Get that extra second. No.
And the reason it's 59.4 is because if you go 59.5, it automatically shows that it rounds up to 60. And we're like, we're pitch 59. Every elevator pitch is 59 seconds or less.
Now I understand what 59 is for.
That's
I didn't
what
know
it
what it was for before. That's so cool.
Yep.
So this is amazing and I'm thinking about public speakers because that's who I work with the most.
Yeah.
You know, especially with business owners who don't think they're public speakers. And if they think motivational speaker, they're like, no, that's not me. I don't want to necessarily be a Tony Robbins. Some people do. They're coaches and that's what they want to be. But most of the people I work with, actually, it's about 50-50. They want to get their business out there. They want to get on stages like this. This is a digital stage.
Yeah.
For them to appear on, to share their business. I always tell the number one way to grow your business is to get on stages.
Yeah.
And now you've got one in your phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Made ones, distributable everywhere, and then you can use it to get on more stages like podcasts or like, and this is how we got together. We met in person through your app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the app. Not through
With the app.
It's right there.
Using the app.
But this is so thrilling to me because when you go to conferences and conventions, I'm sure you guys have been to plenty of conferences where you're sitting in the audience and they tell you to network, and this word network has been like both vomitous for me and then like really exciting because they say your network is your net worth, and I'm like, well, that's cool, but what if you hear that and you're like, well, all my friends are awesome, but they're not where I want to be, and how do you go from, or how do you taught people to go from the physical doom scrolling of gathering all these business cards, filling up your wallet, and then chucking them all to something that's actually usable?
Yeah.
What do you tell people?
Shoot, man, if you saw my desk right now, oh my gosh. My wife gets mad at me for all the business cards that I bring home, sometimes from events.
You're like putting them in pitch.
Well, and that's the thing is like, I mean, they end up in the trash, or they end up in like the laundry, and she's like, I think somebody from our company is just like, it ends up from one hand to the other hand to the trash. Like it's just like, it's just like, and it's literally like, and they get lost. You don't remember who they are. A lot of
then
them,
people are like, I'm going to spend $20 per card, make a metal one that people could throw away. Like,
right. I just feel worse about throwing it away, but you didn't. Like, it's not like to keep it. So I just feel worse.
Yeah.
So tell me what is it? You were talking with your wife, and she's like, stacked the business cards. What happened?
Well, it's just one of those things where it's just like it's just taking up all this space, and there's almost no value to it. Like it's just so common for us to go to like an event like that, like a conference or a trade show or an expo, and for us to just instantly like hand somebody our business card, hoping to get something from it. But it doesn't, like 90% of the time, they get thrown in the trash, they get thrown away, they get put in the laundry, like it's just gone.
Within a week.
It's
like 90% of business cards are thrown away in the first week.
I'm surprised it's that long.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's because it sits on your desk for a few days.
Oh, it has to gather
you have to gather dust.
It has to collect
You have
just
to
a
feel,
little bit.
and then you feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Mine usually sit in my car. I had a whole stack of them just sitting in the cup holder, and I was constantly moving them out of the way.
You have to have like one quick thought about it, like follow up from the event, and then that's it. Like it's just gone after that.
This might be a good time to throw in a teaser of a feature that's coming out.
We could.
Okay, so we do listen to our customers really well. That's one of our
If you looked at the software, like we could point out to you like a lot of the different features that were made as a result of our customers saying, like, I wish we had this.
And and the reason, I think one of the reasons for that is we're all like small business people. Like I'm not a software developer myself. I understand the world now of software development, but that wasn't my background. My background was sales and small business. And as small business people, we naturally kind of understand and inherently get like the problems that are in the space versus what a software engineer is going to understand coming into the business space. So most marketing platforms, most advertising platforms are built by software companies. They're not built by small business people that are frustrated with their with what's out there.
Yeah.
They're built by the companies that they're like, oh, I could build this and make it $100 million company and whatever, and I can do it myself. And so they don't. I think that they kind of do it in the reverse way that it should be done. Like, in my opinion, the people that are in the space should be the ones that are trying to find the solutions for it because they understand it the best.
Well, it's a macrocosm of the pitch we were just talking about, where I'm here to deliver my value, but if no one actually has this problem, so they're building things thinking they're solving problems, but no one has a problem.
Yeah, if you're the doctor that knows the shark bite problem, then you're going to probably figure out a better solution than somebody that lives in Iowa that's never even seen a shark because they're not close to the coast. Like, anyway.
Yeah.
But okay.
The doctor that had a shark bite.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's true. So this is there's a new feature. I don't know when this is going to be out. It's still in the mock-up stage right now, and it probably won't go into development until later this year. But we've gotten requests from a lot of customers saying it would be awesome if I could not only just like if I don't have the Pitch 59 app, but somebody shares their pitch card with me, if I could send my contact information back to them, that would be really nice. And the exchange contact, that's a pretty common thing. But we're like, well, let's take it one step further. What if you're at a networking event and like 10 different people have given you business cards? What if you could just scan their business card and not only have it import their information into your contacts, because you're going to lose that contact in the future. You're not going to remember who that person is.
Or why they're important.
Or why they're important. Yeah. So what if I could scan somebody's business card and have it be put into my new Leads Pocket, which is that would go into your network, as a digital contact card with a picture of their business card, but all their actual information would be extracted as usable links, usable everything, like phone number, email, everything, on a contact card that's like a pitch card, but it's just a basic contact card that doesn't have the pitch. It's like a baby version of a pitch card.
Yeah.
But then I could still share that contact card with other people, and then I could put that contact card in different pockets. Like if that person was a realtor, I could put them in my real estate pocket or put them in my plumbing pocket. So I'm like digitally putting them into my Rolodex, my digital Rolodex, which is the network. And then I could still use that card in the future and then have it send an invite to that person to create a pitch card so that person becomes live to me.
Yeah.
And then I could use and introduce and network with that person like crazy. So that's a new thing that's in mock-ups right now, but that'll make it so that it's almost a miniature CRM. We're not going to compete with HubSpot and Salesforce.
Yeah.
You'll be able to export this to your CRM. But like a realtor or an insurance agent or a lot of different salespeople or small business owners, they don't need a full-blown HubSpot or Salesforce CRM. They just need something simple that they can just keep leads and then just be reminded to contact those people or whatever. That's what that's built for.
Dude, I had that for dating. No joke. When I was single, I had a mini
CRM for dating?
Yeah. I was like, first contact, second contact, third contact, follow up, close loss. Like, it was a total.
All right.
Whoa.
I'm a salesperson. That's what I did. Like, I ran sales forever. I was like, I need a CRM for this.
Need a CRM for dating.
Can you imagine, though, if Tinder, like, or whatever, Bumble, whatever dating platform your favorite is, like, put that together with the pictures, like prospects.
Put them in automated communications.
Do not contact. Like, you can't see this person. Stop.
Let me introduce you to somebody.
It didn't work out for us. Welcome to Casserole.
Yeah.
Do you have two of your roommates that you want to pass my picture?
If we had $1 for every time somebody asked us if there was a dating pitch card or if we were going to create a dating pitch card, we're like,
oh man,
we wouldn't have to raise investment anymore.
Next time, say, give me $1, work on it.
That'll be the future iteration of pictures.
No, if we ever did something like that, that would be like the stepsister or something of Pitch 59.
Pitch 69. Just
We've heard that too.
Yeah, that's how we've heard that.
Oh, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to mix the two worlds. We're focused on the business space. If you want your love life, you're gonna have to find that somewhere else.
We'll change the color of the logo.
Oh my gosh, it's like pink and red now. Okay, where's your vision? Where are you taking us? What's your big hairy 5-year goal?
Well, let's talk about what's happening. July 15th is when we officially roll out our affiliate program.
Oh, dope!
So we've got 400 affiliates and affiliate partners. Some of them are big organizations that have partnered with us. And
I think that's going to sync up with the launch date of this podcast, don't you think, Rich?
That would be awesome.
Looking at the calendar right now.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this, become a Pitch 59 affiliate.
July 15th.
July 15th.
It's like 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today, yeah.
And if you're watching this, it might have been yesterday. Who knows?
There you go.
We'll be close.
But anyway, anybody that has a pitch card can affiliate with us. And the reason that we created that is because, like Nick said before, if you get a pitch card, you want like your entire network to be on it too, because it makes it so easy for everybody to network and refer each other.
Yeah.
And so the goal is like get your pitch card, affiliate with us, and then just send out the invite to all of your network or all your friends and family, anybody else that might be interested in getting a pitch card. And it's just a short little like 3 or 4 line thing with a link that just says, hey, I just created a pitch card and thought you might want to get one of these too. It makes it really easy for people to refer and introduce us to each other. Watch the demo below, and if you want to get a pitch card, you get a 20% discount by using this link. And we only give discounts through affiliates. You cannot get a Pitch 59 discount unless you sign up through one of our affiliates. And then the affiliate receives a 20% residual commission on every pitch card that signs up through them for the life of the pitch card too.
I'm plugging this into my podcast database.
Yeah.
Like 1,000,000%.
Wait, well, your listeners can't get the discount unless you have an affiliate code for it.
Well, I better damn well get one.
So let's get one. But then our goal is, and the more you get to know us at Pitch 59, we're not super money motivated. We're not trying to make $1 billion off of this and then say, see you later and whatever. Like, this is a passion project for most of us because we're small business people.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to compete with the likes of LinkedIn and Home Advisor and Thumbtack and Yelp and even Google it to some extent. Just creating a more emotionally connecting human platform where everybody has a networkable, shareable card that anybody in the world can use, not just Pitch 59ers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. When I first heard about this, I heard about it from my friend Forrest.
Yeah.
And she told me about it. She was blown away by it. And this concept, someone once asked me, how do you increase... No, that didn't ask me. That's not true. I read it on Instagram. So they said, how do you increase the collective value, both emotionally, financially, health-wise, of your circles? How do you get in better circles, in other words? How do you upgrade this? Because we all know that proximity is power, and you're the average of your top 5 people, right? Mm-hmm. So they said, how do I upgrade my people? Not that I want to be an asshole and kick people out. Maybe that will happen, who knows? Yeah. But the suggestion was this: find the most expensive gym membership that you can afford, because the people that are there paid big money to be there. They're focused on their health. They care about it. And this is translating to this. Because anyone can get contacts in their phone for free. But how often do you actually leverage it the way this is leverageable? Yeah. If you want high quality contacts, get in the highest paid room you can. Yeah. And I know this isn't expensive. It's not.
It's $129 per year or $12 a month
affordable.
if you sign up through an affiliate.
Like, most people pay more than that for their blue check mark, which isn't going to get them anything like this.
Yeah. So, or if you're buying business cards, you're spending probably $150 a year on business cards.
On garbage. Yeah. Literal garbage that somebody else throws away.
Yeah, you're filling up our landfills with stuff that people don't care about. This is $150, so essentially just replace that cost with your pitch card that is always with you. You never have to worry about having enough because you can share this an infinite amount of times, and it works every single time, and you're human to everybody. And so, I mean, there's not really an additional cost; it's just a replacement cost. But the value of what you're saying though is like, you want to be in networks where people are invested in it, which is why, like, if you're a member of a BNI group, everybody's paying to be in that, and so they care more about it. If it's a free product or free service, which is why Pitch 59 doesn't do free.
Good. You should.
We want you to be invested in this so that you'll actually use it and become, like, and build your network and get more business from it. If we give you it for free, you're not going to care about it. So, anyway, that's why we do it the way that we do.
I'm glad that you do, and it just increases the value of the people that are using it. Yeah. Like, if they're invested in this, then they're also invested in the relationship. Yep. And that's a huge deal.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So where do people find you? Are you growing a following on social? What's the best place? Until I get my affiliate set up and put it in the links, like, how do people find you guys?
So pitch59.com.
Other than, like, tapping the screen right now.
Yeah, that's right. By the time this goes live, she'll have her affiliate link. So just click on the link below or wherever that link is.
It'll appear in the description.
Yeah, it'll be there.
There you go.
But honestly, no. I mean, we have a social following, but it's just we just put out content there. We don't market or advertise on our social media. So what we would recommend is find a Pitch 59 affiliate, and you're going to start to see them after July. Our affiliates are going to start doing LinkedIn posts. They're going to start doing social media posts. They're going to send you a text or an email invite. Well, look for those invites and then join from one of those invites because that's the cheapest way to get onto Pitch 59. Plus, you'll be included in like their network. They'll like when you create your pitch card, you'll just swap pitch cards and be in each other's pockets. And so find an affiliate is what we tell everybody. Find a Pitch 59 affiliate, get in through that way. You can go to pitch59.com, but you still have to enter somebody's promo code in order to get the discounted rate, because we're not going to show up anywhere else. Yeah.
You have to know somebody to get in.
You have to know somebody to kind of get in. Yeah.
Well, I'll be your somebody. You also can connect with you guys. Like, go follow them on social. I love what you're doing. If you're watching this and you want to be part of the podcast database, this is, I'm integrating this, you guys.
Yeah.
Like, this is for speakers to network, for find other stages, for event coordinators to find people, for podcasts to find guests and hosts. I'm going to hijack your app.
Let's do it.
And just do a whole thing.
You don't even have to hijack it. We'll work with you.
So we're inviting you to hijack.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
For what you're
Thank
doing.
you. You're awesome. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right, guys, check it out in the description. Make sure you follow Pitch 59 and follow the links in the description for more information. We'll see you in the next episode.
Cool.
And for those of you live, watch on the YouTube channel for this to be produced. This is coming out probably around July 15th.
2 or 3 weeks, yeah.
2 to 3 weeks out. So go to my YouTube channel. It's just Marianne Hickman on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe so when this episode drops, you can get in on this action. We'll see you on the next episode. So when this episode drops, you can get in on this action. We'll see you on the next episode.